Hello and Happy New Year, everyone. I'm Lauren Thompson with your Cattail Creek Country Club Insider for the month of January. And with the new year upon us, we have some exciting news to share with you all, so let's get to it. In fact, we've got something new cooking in the kitchen at Cattail, or rather someone. So Chef Matt Webb is joining our culinary team January 10th as our new executive chef. And just look at these delectable plates he is ready to serve all of you. Matt comes to us from Chevy Chase Country Club, where he was the executive sous chef. Originally from Alabama, Matt has extensive experience working at clubs and hotels, including the Four Seasons and the Intercontinental. We are thrilled that he has decided to lead the culinary program at Cattail. So please make sure to welcome him when you see him at the club. Well, next we are headed to the golf course. Cattail's own Chris Constantino and Evan Menke join us with tips to help you with your golf game during these winter weather months.
Hey Cattail members, Chris Constantino here, your head golf professional, and since we're in the off season, I thought it would be a great idea to touch on a couple of concepts I think would be great. Whether you have a home gym or you want to do this in the actual gym or just in your family room, it's up to you. So I have a volleyball in my hand. If I had a medicine ball, I would use that if I was in the gym. But I'm basically going to make a couple short variations of a swing, back and through, and then I'm going to make a full swing, and I'm going to try to let the medicine ball or volleyball or whatever rip into my intended target. So typically what I see is, when we start to get flippy or our tempo gets off is, we always want to fall back to what feels natural. So as I try to turn through, the idea here is that I'm sending it at my intended target. Typically what a flip would look like is that. So you can see the body stops turning, the arms start to get more engaged, and the wrists and the hands. So again, what you're trying to do is you're trying to sync that up, and then what I would do is I would grab a club and try to make it as natural as you possibly can. So again, typically what happens is the body stops to turn and the arms break down and we start to see this flip. So all we're going to try to do is try to send this thing at our intended target. Notice that our hands and arms and body are all in sync when we do that because it's a natural throwing motion. What I would do is I would do a couple swings like that with a volleyball or a medicine ball, and then I would grab a club and try to recreate it. What would also be helpful, I think, is if you have a phone, you can record yourself. Just make some small pivot motions back and through. Make a bigger motion, let it go, and take a video or two and see how it looks. Cattail members, I've also got a kettlebell in my hand, and you can typically get these. You can probably order them off Amazon or you see them in the gym. But I think it would be great for people to try to work on their takeaway as you start the off season. And again, all I'm doing simply is trying to move this thing back. And you'll see that I'll never just try to use my hands and arms. I would get really tired really fast. So all I'm trying to do, I've got 3 fingers on each side here. And all I'm trying to do is use the momentum of the weight with my body pivot to move this thing back and through. And notice that the tempo is the same the entire way, back and through. So Kevin Kisner, who's on the PGA Tour, he made the remark that if you want to get good at chipping, imagine that you have a kettlebell in your hand. So I think this is a great idea to do something like this because A, it helps with tempo, but B, it really helps you understand your arms versus your body pivot and the concept of the two of them working together. So give that a try. I think it'll really help your game this off season.
Hey Cattail members, Evan Menke, assistant golf professional here. Here to talk a little bit about a shot that we can play this time of the year when it starts to get cold and windy. We were kind of blessed with a nice summer where it was pretty calm, but this time of the year the wind starts to pick up and we need to start playing the ball a little bit lower. So I'm going to be talking about how to play a knockdown shot here. The way that I do it, I have an 8-iron here, is I'm going to keep a lot of my setup pretty similar. One thing that I am going to do is I'm going to step a little bit closer to the ball, or I like to say crowd the plate a little bit. That allows us to be a little bit steeper or get a little bit more on top of the ball when we're swinging the club rather than feeling like we're swinging down at it. The second thing that I do is instead of having a regular follow through, I feel like the club head stays low after I finish the swing. So I have a nice low finish, getting the ball to come out nice and low into the wind. penetrate. So I'm gonna set up here. I can show you down the line view here. Here's a regular setup. If I'm gonna try to hit a knockdown, I'm just gonna step a little bit closer to the ball and feel like my chest is covering it a little bit more. Set up here. I feel like I'm covering it, and a nice low finish. And that should produce a lower ball flight that penetrates into the wind. Here's a down the line shot here. Just feel like we're a little bit closer to the ball, feel like our chest is covering the ball. We're just gonna feel like we have a nice low finish with the club head stays low after the ball. And go give that a try.
Thanks, guys. Those are some great training tips to help us keep in shape during this off season. And don't worry, tennis fans, we didn't forget about you. So before we go, we're checking in with Cattail's Matt Durasso with some winter tennis tips as well.
What's going on, everybody at Cattail? It's Coach Matt. Hope everyone's having a great day and hope everyone's gonna have a great holiday season. I just wanted to come in and give everybody a couple tips before we head into the Christmas break. And what you hear from me a lot in my clinics is domination at the net, right? So we're gonna talk about the volley today. Just a couple quick tips for you guys so you can really focus on your net game and really once you get up to that position, you can dominate and win some points. So pretty much starting off with the grip. The most important thing about the volley is the proper grip. We gotta make sure we're using it when we get up to the net. So we need this continental grip. The way I like to find it is I'm gonna take this part of my hand right here, in between the thumb and the pointer. I'm just gonna drag it along down the middle of the frame right here so it stays nice and aligned. And then I'm gonna hold, right? So that middle crease goes right down the middle of the frame and we'll assume the position for that volley grip, all right? Now when we go up to net, we really wanna hit this volley anywhere in between the service line and the net, anywhere in this area. This is volleyable service area, okay? Now, when we're waiting for that ball, it's really racket has to stay high because this is a reactionary shot, everybody. So we gotta stay on our toes, light on our feet, and make sure that racket is high, so whether I'm turning to the right or I'm turning to the left, I'll be absolutely prepared for that ball since it's coming at me quickly, okay? Now, the final part when we're going into our contact point, we really don't wanna let this volley come to us. We wanna go forward into the volley. So if I'm hitting a right-sided volley on my forehand side, I need to make sure that I'm meeting the ball in front of me, turning my body to the side, and I'm timing this contact with my racket with a step forward. So in this case, it's gonna be that left foot step going into the ball. And notice how I time that contact with my step. That's gonna be super important to get a little bit of extra pop on your ball. Same thing when we go over to the left side, it's really just making sure you step at the same time you make contact. But notice on this left side, I have my left hand on the racket. So as I go over to this non-dominant side, it's not as awkward of a feeling as your natural side, and it keeps the racket in position so I can keep it up high and punch it up high so I can get the best out of my volley, okay? And that's pretty much it. I hope everyone has a great holiday season, and if you're here on Sundays, I'll see you on Sundays. But to everyone at Cattail, have a great day. See you around.
Thanks, Matt. And that's going to wrap things up for this month's Cattail Creek Country Club Insider. I'm Lauren Thompson, and we'll see you next time.